How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back with yet another review. Another mystery beer. Oh, fucking mystery beers. How I love thee. This mystery beer comes courtesy of Joe, Average Troll, from up Buffalo, New York way. He sent me a gigantic 15 beer bomb of mystery beers. And this is number 3. The first two did pretty good on. Second one I actually forgot. He put these cool little notes on there where it actually, like, you know what I mean? Tells you what's going on in the beer. I forgot to read that fucking shit, so I'm being a horrible host. I don't even know what the fucking order would that be. Anyway, he sent me a bunch of mystery beers. They're all wrapped up. I have no idea what they are. If you want to know what my mystery beer stuff is, watch the previous ones. Let's dive into it, see what he has. As far as what he wrote on this one, it says, tastes like I waited in line for 5 hours. Now, that is George. George does Massive Troll reviews. You have seen his reviews pop up every now and then. Basically just shit talks beer in general and chug stuff. Anyway, he said that when we were doing our first troll review, which is a heady topper. So yeah, let's see. If this is actually heady, it would be very apropos. So label wise, it's fucking awesome. There's a brown paper bag with shit written on it. What do you want? Give this a popski, a little pourski here. Well, it's definitely not heady. Let's put it that way. I can tell you that much. Definitely not heady. Might be close in taste. Might be close in whatever. But actually, watch. Probably is. Usually, it's been a while since I had me a heady, but this one looks a bit clearer than that. Pinky finger, white as white could be head. Pretty, not creamy on top, but not rocky. It's, pretty tight, compact bubbles. And it's got the ever so slightest bit of haze to it. Almost just like a subtle kind of chill haze to it. But, slightest haze to it. Looks classic. Old school. New school IPA. Could even be kind of like a hopped up lager or hopped up pilsner kind of thing. But yeah, definitely looks like something in the IPA realm. So yeah, see if we can get a nose on her. Nice fruit juiciness, sweet citrus, nothing over the top. Nice kind of peaches there. Very, very subtle kind of, not even just tropical fruit, more like star fruit, more like kiwi, stuff like that. Nice sweetness to it. It is very heady-like, let's put it that way. Yeah, and very clean, very crisp, very refreshing. Really not much to it as far as uber oomph, but it definitely has a nice brightness to it, nice pop to it. That's pretty much it. Now the peaches are really taking over on this, so they kind of lead the way with that kind of candied citrus and that kind of star fruit kind of falling behind there. But it smells super bright, super vibrant, super refreshing. I've had this beer before, let's put it that way. Smelling it definitely rings to something I have had quite a bit. So let's dive in and see what she's got. Cheers. Okay. Definitely not heady. Way more bitter in the mouth than you expect based off of the nose. You get a huge pop of bitterness in there. It's a combination of like a kind of subtle weedy bitterness combined with like kind of just a straight up kind of like piney old school kind of bitterness in there. I was going total East Coaster in this one, but there's a lot of hefty kind of West Coast vibes going on in this one. Mouthfeel's nice, but definitely not as close to a lot of these new school New England style IPAs. It lacks that kind of turbid kind of density to it. But, yeah, wow, that bittering. Did not expect that to come through. But a hefty pop of bittering on there. Combined with that nice, still there kind of peaches, fruit juiciness kind of going on in there. Not even fruit juiciness. I shouldn't even say there. Just kind of fruitiness. Because it's definitely not juiciness. It's nice. I like it. I dig it. It tastes commercial to me. And by commercial, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm getting a lot of like Avery vibes from this, like Raja. I feel like stuff like that. I know it's not that. I mean, unless he's trying to throw me with like I waited in line for 5 hours for that. But it tastes like a bigger hop forward beer that is put out by one of the leaders in the packs. Your founders, your Averys, your Deschutes. Those beers of the world. I don't think it's a super tiny guy because there's a crisp clarity to it. But at the same time, who knows? Yeah, just to recap. Yeah, that peaches, sweet citrus in order. peaches, sweet citrus, and starfruit. In the nose, heaping helpings. In the mouth, a big biting bitterness to balance that sweetness. Okay, mouthfeel, nothing too crazy. And it's crisp and clean. It's probably a little bit colder than I'd like it to be, but probably exactly where it should be for a lot of people. Probably in the low to mid 40s. So, yeah, let's dive in and see what she's got. Let's see. Definitely not a beer I've had before, I'll put it that way. It is, let's see, XPA from Wilson, New York. Craft and brewed in Wilson, New York by the brewery. The tape is covering it. Woodcock Brothers Brewing. So I was saying, this tastes like something from one of the larger guard kind of breweries out there. That's not the case. It's the cleanliness on this, the crisp and how clean this beer is. It just makes me kind of think of a brewery that's been around for a long, long time. It's pretty refined and has their operations at that point. So for a brewery to be kind of something I've never heard of, kind of produce something that fucking clean is pretty impressive. Label-wise, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a little scientific little setup there, a little Bunsen burner, things like that kind of floating around. Got Joe's little note here, which I won't skip this time, but I'll read up what's on the can really quick. It says here, what happens when a mad brewer discovers a glorious combination of hops and malts? An atomic combustion gone horribly right. We give you ever-evolving, experimental XPA that tastes a bit different with every batch. Our formula combines glowing green biomatter, various fungus catalyst agents, and atmospheric nebula tears with meticulously chosen grist. There's no doubt the bond between you and this ale gets stronger with each sip. Woodcock Brothers Brewing Company. So yeah, let's grab Joe's little note here, see what it has. Tear that sucker off there. So bummed I skipped this last one. It was funny because I remember having that when I was a big ditch beer. I remember having it before with them. Anyway, it says here, let's see, it's an XPA experimental. It's Galaxy and Mosaic. 6.5%. Brewery only for cans. About 70 cases produced for this release, so very tiny. This XPA is getting quite popular locally. Releases happening every 2 to 3 months. It's an IPA series. They have changed up hops each batch, which is a lot of what a lot of breweries are doing now. It's a combination of, hop contracts and what they have, combined with, I don't want to say this like a negative thing, but they don't have to produce the exact same beer and over. So consistency isn't the biggest thing when you're rotating out hops. Let's see. It says here, this obviously uses Galaxy Mosaic, and it's double dry hopped. I had 1 day old, and while it had awesome fruity and juicy components, it was a bit more bitter than I anticipated. But I still enjoyed it. I'm hoping it's mellowed out a bit and evolved into something better. So that's that kind of bittering. I'm sure that's what Joe is speaking about, because he knows his fucking beer. And it knows. That's why I was like, I don't think this is heady, but it had a lot of heady kind of vibes to it. But once you actually got it and started sipping on it, that bittering was just so jarring based off of the nose. Now, once you actually sip it and take a couple sips, it bounces off that sweetness quite nicely. But at the same time, you kind of expect much different based off the nose. So yeah, let's talk about it. It's one of the better base IPAs as of late. For me, no. But I've had so many fantastic ones, so that's why I'm saying that. I think it's a really good beer. Like I said, the cleanliness of this beer, I can't get past that. I can't overstate that enough. It's so well made. There's zero negativity floating around this beer. It's so well made, so crisp, so clean. That in itself warrants it to be a really well made beer. Combine that with what it's putting on there, I think it's really nice. It's just personally myself, I like my beers to skew a little bit less bitter, a little bit more fruity. But that's just me. So I'm not trying to undermine this beer because I think it's pretty good. And I think a lot of people that really like bittering IPAs, old school beers, West Coasters, stuff like that, we'll dig that. We'll get to that at the end. Value to availability, he actually said it was very small availability. He said it was like 70 cases for the release, so I assume it's a brewery only thing. They probably don't distribute it at all. And he said it was $13 for a 4-pack. That's not too shabby either. And just leave it with this. If you like what we like this. Basically, what I just said before when I said I'd leave it for the end, which is, your old school East and Westers, your Midwest IPAs, your West Coast IPAs. It has enough bittering there to kind of balance that sweetness that it just makes it fucking work. So yeah, super fun beer. Yeah, to get the beers that I know nothing about is pretty fucking awesome. And yeah, I dig it. Let's put it this way, it's not my favorite IPA that I've had as of late, but it's also a brewery that I will not forget. And if I'm ever close to this area, I'm definitely gonna pop in because it's left an impression. So there you go. Another review in the books. Another mystery beer in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or didn't or whatever, down there, leave some comments. Let me know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped. Massive Beers in all 4 of those places if you want to check me out anywhere else. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice homegrown IPA right now. Experimental IPA. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.